Hey everyone, welcome back to Ultimate Pub Quiz. My name's Chris and I've got 3 rounds for you in today's quiz. 15 questions on each one, 45 questions in total. Round 1 is a Eurovision winners quiz. Round 2 is an 80s movies quiz. And then round 3 a little bit darker as we jump into a serial killers quiz. If this is the kind of content you enjoy, then do consider subscribing to my channel. And let's get straight into it now with round 1, which is Eurovision winners. Question 1. Is this Nicole, Sandra Kim, Anne-Marie David, or Marie Miriam? A. Nicole, B. Sandra Kim, C. Anne-Marie David, D. Marie Miriam. And very well done if you got the first question right, which was Anne-Marie David. Moving on to question 2. Is this Carola, Celine Dion, Nicole, or Corinne Herms? What I will say with this particular quiz, Eurovision Song Contest winners, not as easy as it sounds. Well, it certainly isn't for me. So do you know the answer to question 2? And the answer to question 2 was Corinne Herms. Question 3 is coming up next. Is this Bucks Fizz, Bobby Socks, ABBA, or Brotherhood of Man? Probably one of the easier ones. Is this Bucks Fizz, Bobby Socks, ABBA, or Brotherhood of Man? And of course the answer to this one is ABBA. Question 4. Is this Conchita Wurst, Duncan Lawrence, Manzalmelo, or Salvador Sobral? Is this Conchita Wurst, Duncan Lawrence, Manzalmelo, or Salvador Sobral? And the answer to this one is B. Duncan Lawrence. Question 5. Is this Gigliola Cinquetti, France Gall, Isabelle Aubray, or Sandy Shaw? I definitely haven't got a clue as to the answer on this one. Is it A, B, C, or D? And very impressive if you said A, Gigliola Cinquetti. Question 6. Is this Lenny Keir, Udo Jürgens, Corrie Brocken, or Teddy Scholten? Is this A. Lenny Keir, B. Udo Jürgens, C. Corrie Brocken, or D. Teddy Scholten? And the answer to this one is B. Udo Jürgens. Question 7 of 15 is coming up next. Is this Marie N, Helena Paparizou, Ruslana, or Maria Serafovic? Is this Marie N, Helena Paparizou, Ruslana, or Maria Serafovic? And the answer to this one is C, Ruslana. Question 8. Is this Ruslana, Dima Bilan, Sertab Erener, or Helena Paparizou? Is this A, Ruslana, B, Dima Bilan, C, Sertab Erener, or D? And the answer is C, Sertab Erener, as I clicked on it by mistake. Moving on to question 9. Is this Severine, Isa Cohen and the Alphabeta, Milk and Honey, or D, Teach In? Is this A, Severine, B, Izhar Cohen and the Alphabeta, C, Milk and Honey, D, Teach In? And the answer to this one is Izhar Cohen and the Alphabeta. Question 10. Is this Emily De Forest, Loreen, Netta, or Jamala? Is this A, Emily De Forest, B, Loreen, C, Netta, or D, Jamala? The answer to this one is B, Loreen. Question 11. Is this Katrina and the Waves, Reva, Secret Garden, or Dana International? One of the UK's better entries, but is it A, Katrina and the Waves, B, Reva, C, Secret Garden, D, Dana International? And the answer is A, Katrina and the Waves. Question 12. Is this Lulu, Maciel, Salome, or Sandy Shaw? Is this Lulu, Maciel, Salome, or Sandy Shaw? The answer to this one is B, Maciel. Question 13 of 15. Is this Marie Miriam, Dana, Anne-Marie David, or Vicky Leandros? Is this A. Marie Miriam, B. Dana, C. Anne-Marie David, or D. Vicky Leandros? The answer to this one is A. Marie Miriam. 2 to go on this round. This is question 14. Is this Conchita Wurst, Emily de Forest, Netta, or Jamala? One of the more recent winners. Is it A. Conchita Wurst, B. Emily de Forest, C. Netta, D. Jamala? And the answer is C. Netta. Last one for the Eurovisions. Is this Carola, Celine Dion, Corinne Hermes, or Riva? Is this A. Carola, B. Celine Dion, C. Corinne Hermes, or D. Riva? And the answer to the final one of the Eurovision is a very young looking Celine Dion. Do let me know what you got on this particular round out of 15. You can see there is a leaderboard, and that's because all of these quizzes will be available on ultimatepubquiz.com for you to play interactively. But let's now move on to the 1980s movie quiz round, and let's get straight into it with question 1. Question 1. How does Josh make his wish to be big in the 1988 comedy Big? Is it a shooting star, on a fortune telling machine, genie bottle, or 4-leaf clover? How does Josh make his wish to be big in the 1988 comedy Big? Give you a few seconds to answer, and the answer is B, on a fortune telling machine. Question 2. How many boys are in the Greasers gang in The Outsiders? Is it 5, 8, 7, or 6? Give you a few seconds to answer there. You could probably just add up how many are in the image. Didn't think about that one. And the answer to this one is 7. Question 3. How many friends vacation at a cabin in the woods before unleashing evil in The Evil Dead? Is it 2, 3, 4, or 5? And very well done if you said 5. Question 4. How does Jake's device track the shark in Jaws the Revenge? Is it through other fish in the sea, sound waves, water vibrations, or through the shark's heartbeat? How does Jake's device track the shark in Jaws the Revenge? And the answer to this one is D, through the shark's heartbeat. Question 5. How do separated Siamese twins Dwayne and Belial die in basket case? Is it through a burning building, they are run over, they are shot, or fall from a hotel window? How do separated Siamese twins Dwayne and Belial die in basket case? And very well done if you said fall from a hotel window. Question 6. How many awards in total was Denzel Washington nominated for his role in the 1989 war drama Glory? Was it 3, 5, 2, or none? How many awards in total was Denzel Washington nominated for his role in the 1989 war drama Glory? The answer to this one is B, 5. Question 7. How many babies does businessman Nathan Arizo have in Raising Arizona? Is it 1, triplets, twins, or quintuplets? How many babies does businessman Nathan Arizo have in Raising Arizona? The answer to question 7 is quintuplets. Question 8. How does Conrad Jarrett's older brother Buck die in the 1980 drama Ordinary People? He was poisoned, a falling lamppost, a car crash, or a sailing accident? How does Conrad Jarrett's older brother Buck die in the 1980 drama Ordinary People? The answer to this one is D, sailing accident. Also want to point out before we continue that you also get 2 lives that you can see in the top right corner for each of the quizzes on ultimatepubquiz.com. How many years after the original is Ghostbusters 2 set? Is it 2, 5, 4 or 3? How many years after the original is Ghostbusters 2 set? The answer to this one is D, 3. No, it's not. It's 5. I actually looked at the wrong question. So the answer there was indeed 5, not 3. But what you have managed to see is an example of what happens when you get a wrong answer on the quiz on ultimatepubquiz.com. So I could technically say I meant to do that, but I absolutely didn't. Let's move on to question 10. How does Veronica, played by Winona Ryder, accidentally kill clique leader Heather Chandler, played by Kim Walker, in the 1989 comedy Heathers? Is it A, electrocutes her, B, runs her over, C, poisons her, or D, shoots her? How does Veronica, played by Winona Ryder, accidentally kill clique leader Heather Chandler, played by Kim Walker, in the 1989 comedy Heathers? And the answer to question 10 is poisons her. Question 11. How does Ginny attempt to kill Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2? With a rifle, a machete, grenade, or sets him on fire? How does Ginny attempt to kill Jason in Friday the 13th Part 2? The answer to this one is B, with a machete. Question 12. How many years has it been since the shipwreck off the coastal town of Antonio Bay in the fog? Was it 50 years, 100 years, 25 years, or 150 years? How many years has it been since the shipwreck off the coastal town of Antonio Bay in the fog? The answer to this one is B, 100 years. Question 13 of 15. How many years after the original film does Beverly Hills Cop 2 take place? Is this 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, or 6 years? How many years after the original film does Beverly Hills Cop 2 take place? And if you was being smart and remembering the wrong answer that I did earlier, the answer to this one is 3 years. 2 to go in this particular round. Question 14. How does a robot gain human-like intelligence in the 1986 sci-fi comedy Short Circuit? He was reprogrammed, struck by lightning, falls in love, or library books? How does a robot gain human-like intelligence in the 1986 sci-fi comedy Short Circuit? And the answer to this one is B, struck by lightning. 1 to go on the 1980s movies quiz. How does Predator kill himself in the 1987 sci-fi adventure Predator? Runs in front of a plane, self-destructs, enters code, jumps into the sea. How does Predator kill himself in the 1987 sci-fi adventure Predator? And the final answer to the 1980s movies round is self-destructs. So that brings us to the end of the movie quiz. Again, you will notice the leaderboard option there for these quizzes. I'm also going to be looking at adding some different style quizzes on the website. So please do go and check that out, ultimatepubquiz.com. But we've got one more round for this particular quiz today, and it is all about serial killers. So let's get straight into it now with question 1. Who was the Milwaukee Cannibal? Was it Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, or Albert Fish? Who was the Milwaukee Cannibal? Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Albert Fish? The answer to this one is C, Jeffrey Dahmer. Question 2 of 20 in this particular round. Which killer was caught in 1991? Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, Albert Fish, Ed Gein? Which killer was caught in 1991? Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, Albert Fish, Ed Gein? The answer to this one is A, Jeffrey Dahmer. Question 3. Which killer inspired Psycho? Was it Ed Gein, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, or Ted Bundy? Which killer inspired Psycho? Ed Gein, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, or Ted Bundy? The answer to this one is A, Ed Gein. Question 4. Who was the Night Stalker? Richard Ramirez, Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy? Who was the Night Stalker? Was it Richard Ramirez, Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, or John Wayne Gacy? The answer to question 4 is Richard Ramirez. Which killer was executed in 1989? Was it Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, or Jeffrey Dahmer? Which killer was executed in 1989? Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, or Jeffrey Dahmer? The answer to this one is B, Ted Bundy. Question 6. Which killer was known for his charm? Ed Gein, Eileen Wuornos, Ted Bundy, or Albert Fish? Which killer was known for his charm? Ed Gein, Eileen Wuornos, Ted Bundy, or Albert Fish? I'm sure many people know that it's definitely not B, but it is in fact C, Ted Bundy. Question 7. Who was known as the Butcher of Plainfield? Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy? Who was known as the Butcher of Plainfield? Jeffrey Dahmer, Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, or John Wayne Gacy? The answer to this one is B, Ed Gein. Question 8 of 20. How many confirmed victims is Ed Gein believed to have killed? 15, 2, 10, or 5? How many confirmed victims is Ed Gein believed to have killed? 15, 2, 10, or 5? The answer to this one is shockingly 2. Thought it would have been more than that. Question 9 of 20. Who was executed in 1994? Ed Gein, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy? Who was executed in 1994? Ed Gein, John Wayne Gacy, Jeffrey Dahmer, or Ted Bundy? The answer to this one is B, John Wayne Gacy. Question 10. How many confirmed victims does the Zodiac Killer have based on police records? 15, 5, 10, or 0? How many confirmed victims does the Zodiac Killer have based on police records? 15, 5, 10, or 0? The answer to this one is B, 5. Halfway through the final round, question 11. Who was known for skinning victims? Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy? Who was known for skinning victims? Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy? The answer to this one is A, Ed Gein. Question 12. Which killer was active in California? Was it Albert Fish, Richard Ramirez, Ed Gein, or Ted Bundy? Which killer was active in California? Albert Fish, Richard Ramirez, Ed Gein, or Ted Bundy? The answer to this one is Richard Ramirez. Question 13. Who was known as the Brooklyn Vampire? Ed Gein, Albert Fish, Richard Ramirez, Ted Bundy? Who was known as the Brooklyn Vampire? Ed Gein, Albert Fish, Richard Ramirez, or Ted Bundy? The answer to this one is B, Albert Fish. 14. Which killer was known as the Boogeyman? Richard Ramirez, Ted Bundy, Ed Gein, Albert Fish? Which killer was known as the Boogeyman? Richard Ramirez, Ted Bundy, Ed Gein, or Albert Fish? The answer to this one is D, Albert Fish. Question 15. What was Eileen Wuornos' primary occupation before her killing spree? She was a prostitute, a factory worker, a teacher, or a nurse. What was Eileen Wuornos' primary occupation before her killing spree? Prostitute, factory worker, teacher, or a nurse? She was a nurse. 5 to go in this quiz. Question 16. Who was known for grave robbing? Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, Ed Gein? Who was known for grave robbing? Was it Ted Bundy, Jeffrey Dahmer, John Wayne Gacy, or Ed Gein? The answer to this one is D, Ed Gein. Question 17 of the serial killers. Question 17 of the serial killers round. Who was the Grey Man? John Wayne Gacy, Ed Gein, Albert Fish, or Ted Bundy? Who was the Grey Man? John Wayne Gacy, Ed Gein, Albert Fish, or Ted Bundy? The answer to this one is C, Albert Fish. Who was the werewolf of Wisteria? Was it Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, or Albert Fish? Who was the werewolf of Wisteria? Ed Gein, Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, or Albert Fish? The answer to this one is Albert Fish. 2 to go. Question 19. Who was the killer clown? Ted Bundy, Ed Gein, Richard Ramirez, John Wayne Gacy. Who was the killer clown? Ted Bundy, Ed Gein, Richard Ramirez, or John Wayne Gacy? The answer is D, John Wayne Gacy. The last question of the whole quiz. Question number 50. What method did Ted Bundy often use to lure his victims? Promising concert tickets, offering help with a broken car, posing as a police officer, or disguising as a doctor? What method did Ted Bundy often use to lure his victims? Promising concert tickets, offering help with a broken car, posing as a police officer, or disguising as a doctor? And the answer to the final question is offering help with a broken car. I do hope you enjoyed today's quiz. Do let me know in the comments how many you got on each of the rounds and whether you managed to get all 50 correct. And also do let me know your team name as well. And I will look forward to seeing you in another quiz very soon. Thanks for playing.